All right, if you got past the title of this video, you know exactly what's coming. Couple disclaimers. I'm 5'6". This is not about necessarily being short. I'm short. I'm not saying that I'm not, but I'm lowering the bike because I like the way it looks. And that's all I have to say about that. So if you can get past the, oh my God, the suspension is not the same, you're going to, don't forget about that. If you want to learn something cool, if you want to see the bike, how it looks when it's lower, because maybe gives you have that curiosity about the bike, you're more than welcome to stay. And if you don't like it, you're actually more than welcome to stay as well. So I'm just going to be removing or changing the links on the rear, and then I'm going to be moving to the front where I'm going to be raising the fork so I can match the rear and I can still keep the geometry of the bike, knowing and understanding that the bike is going to behave a little bit different to what it was before, and it might be losing some trouble, but it's not as bad as people make it look, sound, or whatever. I don't know. I'm not comparing this to a MotoGP bikes, but before you get on, like, oh my goodness, Richard, the Suzuki or the Yamaha people, engineers, spend so many hours working on this bike. Come on, guys. Have you heard about the whole shot device for MotoGP? I'm not saying this is a MotoGP bike. All I'm saying is the whole shot device, and the whole shot device actually allows for a MotoGP bike to change geometry and like lower itself to benefit a whole shot when they are starting from the line, and then also to lower the bike before entering into a turn. All I'm saying is maybe it's not as bad as people make it look, and I'm not saying I'm going to strap it in a way that I'm only going to be able to drag the bike, but if you can get past that, let's just have fun and just modify the bike and make it look a little bit nicer. All right, so what I'm going to do right now is to pull one of the links from the box or package or whatever, because these are the links that I'm going to be using, and I want to find the stock mounting point. So essentially, if I do this, it might be a little bit different because I have that BMW S1000 or S1000 or whatever shock in mind. I was able to map it. So this is going to be stock height. This is going to be 2 inches, and this is going to be 4 inches. So we're going to go for 2 inches. So I'm going to be moving from here to here and replacing the existing links, dog bones, for this one, which is adjustable. You can put back into stock, or you can go all the way to 4 inches drop. All right, perfect. So I'm now perfect. So in case you didn't see what I was doing, I was just putting some support in here, because when I remove this, the bike wants to drop, and then instead of and this can drop too. So I wanted to put something in here which I can kind of force it in place. I'll see how it reacts, and we can kind of deal with the whole situation. And then in here, I put this in here just in case the bike wants to drop more than where the actual jack stand is. It's gonna kind of keep it in place, and then we'll deal with the way the bike reacts whenever we get to drop it. All right, so I'm going to try to remove the bolts right now. So I'm going to completely remove the nut on the right side, along with the, if I remember correctly, when I did this in the past a couple times, there's bolt bearings inside of this, which you kind of have to deal with, and maybe that's a good opportunity for us to put some threads and whatnot. Okay, so this one is actually coming quite easy. So I have one of the links kind of already out. Okay, this is the one from the right side already out. So now we just have to pull this, which I'm going to hammer with a rubber mallet from the right side, and the everything else is kind of keeping it in place. So I'm going to, the bolts are like right behind here, so I don't have any good space to kind of remove them. Oops. So let's get this guy out and get the one at the bottom as well. Perfect. Okay, perfect. Okay, so you can see the bolt right here. This is what I was not able to do with that thing in the middle. There you go. See now both of them coming from this way. So I'm going to try to separate them. All right, so I don't have a lot of tension here now. There you go. Super sweet. Let's do it like so. Perfect. Oh, wow. Look at that. Years and years. All right, we can fix that. That's no problem. I just want it enough so that I can do this right here. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to take this opportunity to pull the pins out and put a little bit of waterless grease. That way I know that everything is rotating as it should with the actual bolts, but I'm going to protect them with some waterless grease as well. This way. I think I'm gonna do it like so. So this is stock, so I need this upward. So I'm going to be pushing. So what I'm going to do is, I'll clean this up later. I'm going to get this one started. Okay, perfect. There you go. So now I'm going to lift the bike because I need the bike to move to the hole in the center, and right now it's in the one in the front. So you can probably see it better from here. So you can see it's in the middle. So I'm sorry, it's in the first one, so I need it in here. So perfect. So I just remove this and I'm going to use this to pull up on the swing arm, and that should give me what I'm looking for. And if it doesn't, we'll keep trying. Okay, so it might be slower if I do it from here, but let's give it a try anyway. So let's see. No. Oh, yeah, perfect. You can see almost. There you go. I think I got it in the middle. So now I'm going to get this bolt through here. And now I have it in the middle. Perfect. So now we're gonna go to the other side. All right, so now I have this here. So I put it at the bottom, keep the bolt from moving. The washer right here. And I can now put both of the nuts. Perfect. I already started them by hand. So let me use my wrench on the other side. Keep it in place. I'll torque them later. I just want to get them both tight for now. All right, so this is what I'm going to be doing now. I'm going to be removing the jack stands, and I'm going to be removing the jack so that I can put the wheel on the ground, and then I can move to the front of the bike. It's very important. Two things. One, I'm not sure, but the bike might be too low to be able to use the center stand. So that's something that I have to find out after I finish. Not super concerned. It's cool to have it, but it's fine. And then my bike was already leaning a lot to the left, which now I might be able to have it kind of leaning a little bit, kind of more center Where if your bike is not leaning too much to the left, you have to think about whether or not you need a shorty side stand in order to keep the bike from falling over because it's all too upright. So hopefully that makes sense to you. So I'm going to be removing this. All right, so welcome to the front. Now you have to undo both this bolt holding the triple tree at the top and then the bolt holding the triple tree at the bottom so that you can allow for the raise for the forks to raise through the torque, the top triple and the bottom triple in order to gain or reach the same amount of lean or drop the bike did have. Since essentially the links are telling us that are dropping the bike by 2 inches, that's going to be my starting point. I don't want to go beyond 2 inches, but I'm going to be dropping the bike 2 inches in the front, and then I'm going to take out the bike for a spin and see how it feels. Maybe low input give you a lot, maybe low input doesn't give you enough to turn. So that's something that you can tailor. But the very basic rule is just to start with the same amount of drop that you have in the rear to match it in the front so that you can keep the geometry of the bike, and the bike should handle similar to what it did before. These I'm expecting to be sixes. Sometimes people have a tendency to over torque these bolts, so just be careful. You're not going to strip them. Okay, this one is somewhat light. Okay, perfect. So that one is loose, so I'm going to tighten back a little bit because I don't want the bike kind of dropping entirely whenever I do the other one. So I just want to keep some tension. So there's two sets of bolts. So I'm going to do the other one. This one is going as well. Somewhat slower than the other one, but yeah, decent, perfect. Okay. So I'm gonna do the same. I'm going to tighten this one a little bit, just a little tension. And now we're going to repeat the process. What I'm going to do now is just to have my point. So I want this to be 2 inches down. So I'm going to take measurements from here. And the 2 inch mark is going to be right there. So I want this to be right here. So I have a reference, point of reference here. And when this top is right here, that's when I reach my point and I should be able to tighten. Okay. Sometimes they can react very quickly where it's very hard to stop the drop. So I'm going to go little by little. And sometimes they require more force. So as you can tell, it's completely loose and it did not do anything. So they sometimes need some help. So what you do is just to, you can do this. So I'm going to tighten this one now, and I'm going to undo the ones at the bottom. So they all have to be loosened in order to come down. So one of them that's keeping it kind of in place is enough. I'm also going to keep this one right here so I can not close it, but like tighten, and I can control that the bike is not gonna drop more than what I want to. So I'm going to keep my left hand on one side and then the right side on this one. So here goes nothing. Okay, here we go. It's going. I don't have a lot of pressure because the front is kind of floating, which is not a bad thing actually. Okay, here we go. There you go. All right, so what I'm going to do is I want to have some weight in the front so it's easier just for me to pull. So now I have a lot of pressure. I have the weight of the engine now. See from the bottom, these bolts right here are the one from the bottom triple. So I'm going to keep one in here so I can control how far it's gonna go. And then, so I'm just gonna do kind of both at the same time. There you go. Do you see that? Started moving. Oh, maybe it's hard to see. So let me bring it down a little bit to begin with. So So let me go a little bit more. It's going very little, but it's going. Okay, it's going. It's going very little. I just stopped it. We're almost at the mark. So this final stretch is gonna be I'm kind of controlling between the two to ensure it's not gonna go crazy. I'll now undo more the one at the bottom so I can let it slide. Checking measurements with my caliper. It's at right at 2 inches right now. So, all right. So now that I have I'm convinced that I took my caliper and I took the measurements where I want it. I'm going to tighten the bolts. I'm not going to torque them yet because I want to make sure that the bike feels good, so I can make the whatever modifications that I need to make in order for the bike to feel good. So I'm going to be I already rechecked this, so I'm going to be tightening this one and then the two at the bottom, the bottom triple, and I'm going to be doing the same on the other side. If you want to take a look at it, it's going to be this one plus those two at the bottom. So I'm going to tighten those and I'm going to take the bike for a quick spin. Okay. All right, so even though this is not torqued down yet, I want to apply pressure so that I know that it's not gonna come off. So now I'm going to take it out for a spin and I will be reporting back as to whether or not it feels good or if I have to make any final adjustments. All right, so I love how the bike looks, but even though I was able to make a couple like round turns and feel like I have a pretty good handle on the bike, I think it still feels a little bit floaty in the front. And when that happens, that means that I don't have enough drop in the front, which I'm not sure if you noticed, but when I took the measurements, I measure for this to be, for this to be at 2 inches, and essentially this needed to be at 2 inches. Otherwise, I don't have enough. So I'm just gonna drop it a couple like more millimeters, and I'll take it out for a spin, see how it feels, and then I keep adjusting. But I should be able to, as soon as I get to the 2 inches, I should be able to have a pretty clear and I guess geometry. But the bike feels pretty good. All right. So the one thing I completely forgot that happened in the past with my GSX S1000 is the fact that I do not have more clearance here. So I managed to get half an inch. So I'm pretty sure the bike should feel very good right now because it was actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be at the beginning. So I managed to get the same amount on both. I took the measurements and I feel pretty comfortable with it. But as of right now, I already tightened this because my next step is just to put clip-ons on the bike. So when I put clip-ons, I'm going to be able to remove all of this, and then the clip-ons actually can free it up all of this, and it's going to give me the ability to kind of push a raise or push down the forks whenever I want to. So I'm just going to take it for a spin, see how it feels, but I'm expecting to feel pretty good.
All right, this is going to be a separate video that we're going to be showing you later. But it's important to me that you know that in order for me to match and get the geometry that I needed on the bike, I ended up removing the handlebars because I was already planning on putting clip-ons on the bike. So even though I'm not going to show you the entire process, I did want to show you the fact that I removed the handlebars and the insertion or installation of the clip-ons allow me to get the full 2 inches that I was looking for so I can get my geometry back. And here it is. You can see how much the forks were raised. So this is how the bike looks like right now. So the fact that I had 2 inches on top of the triple tree allowed me to put the clamps of the clip-ons on top of the triple tree, which is great. So the actual body position feels amazing, and I love it so much. So I just wanted to show you, the bike feels very, very planted, very, very balanced, and I regained that same kind of balance that I had at the beginning. Before, when I did it, when I was not completely 2 inches drop in the front, the front kind of a little bit floaty. And it's normal because your rear is actually had more weight on the bike more than the front when you do that modification. So when I was able to drop the front the exact 2 inches, the bike feels just like it did before. So after this point, you can do whatever changes you want to make it feel your own and feel comfortable with the bike. But at the very least, I'm on the same place that I was when I started. If that makes sense. So hopefully that was enjoyable for you. If you have any questions about how I did this, how you can do it, I mean, anything, whatever you want to know, just ping me and just let me a comment or just send me an email. I always put my email on the description box on that video. So just email me or just let a comment and I'll be more than happy to get back with you. So hopefully you are enjoying these videos. And if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to help you out. So thank you so much for watching, for spending this time with me. Bye-bye.